The first thing that hit me was the whisper of footsteps on the hardwood floor, the kind that slices through the dead of night like a bad omen. It was around 2 a.m., and in my cozy bungalow on the outskirts of Tacoma, Washington, the usual soundtrack was the distant rumble of Puget Sound waves and the occasional hoot of an owl in the evergreens outside. But this was off. I cracked my eyes just a sliver, enough to catch the faint glow of a cell phone flashlight dancing across my bedroom walls. My heart skipped a beat as I watched her, my mom, Sarah, rifling through my nightstand drawer with the stealth of someone who'd done this before. She wasn't fumbling. Her movements were precise, like she knew exactly where I'd stashed my wallet. The beam caught the glint of her old silver locket, the one she'd worn since Dad passed, now hanging loose around her neck. That little flash felt like a punch to the gut. There's this heavy quiet that settles in right before your world cracks open, the moment you realize you're witnessing betrayal up close. I lay there frozen, breathing shallow, not wanting to tip her off. Busting her then, and there would have turned the house into a battlefield. And, without solid proof, it'd just be my word against hers. She slipped my debit card out like it was no big deal, then eased the drawer shut and backed out, closing the door with that fake gentleness moms pull off when they're hiding something. Her lavender scent hung in the air, a smell that used to mean home, but now just twisted the knife deeper. I stared at the ceiling for what felt like hours, my mind racing. In our family, borrowing was just a polite word for taking what you wanted, as long as you spun a good yarn about it later. I'd grown up learning that keeping secrets was key to survival in this clan. Hold your cards close until the pot's worth betting on. Sleep finally dragged me under, but it was fitful, broken by the buzz of my phone at dawn. Groggy. I grabbed it, figuring it was a work email or spam. But nope, a barrage of bank alerts stacked like dominoes ready to topple. My stomach dropped as I swiped through them, a $4,000 ATM withdrawal at 2:30 a.m., then a $6,000 transfer to some unknown account, followed by point-of-sale hits for $300 at a boutique and $2,000 at an electronics store. By 5 a.m., my savings, built brick by brick over 6 years of overtime at the marketing firm, skipped happy hours, and ramen nights were gutted. That nest egg was my ticket out, a down payment on a condo in Seattle. My shot at independence. Now, zilch. Barely enough for gas. I didn't need Sherlock Holmes to connect the dots. The timestamps lined up perfectly with that 2 a.m. shadow play in my room. Every transaction pinged within a mile of our quiet neighborhood, under the cover of those misty Washington nights. But who was she with? Mom never flew solo on money grabs. There was always a sidekick feeding her excuses. I could have stormed her room right then, but I knew the drill. Tears. Denials. And suddenly I'm the villain for overreacting. Blood might run thick. But in our family, it turned to mud quick when cash was involved. Instead, I screenshot everything, emailed copies to a hidden account, and printed them out, tucking the stack into my laptop bag amid client files. This wasn't just theft, it was a declaration of war. And I wasn't charging in unarmed. By the time the house stirred, dressed in my usual jeans and blazer, and grabbed my bag, the morning fog rolled in off the sound, turning the world soft and hazy. I glanced at Mom's door. Whatever cocktail of guilt or gall was brewing behind it could wait. At the bank during my lunch break, I met with my go-to-teller, Elena, laying it all out calm as a summer lake. She nodded, her face tightening as she pulled up security footage and transaction logs. "We'll flag this as fraud and start the claim process," she said. But I heard the undercurrent. Family thefts like this rarely ended clean. Washington state law was clear. Unauthorized access to accounts could mean felony charges. But proving intent? That was the rub. I walked out with copies of everything, the mist clinging to my coat like unresolved questions. Back home, the key didn't turn. I jiggled it, thinking it was stuck from the damp. But no, the lock was shiny new, straight from the hardware store down the block. A tag from Tacoma Locks and keys dangled from the doorknob, mocking me. Locked out of my own house? This was Mom's countermove. Pure and simple. Doors aren't just barriers, they're symbols of who holds the power. I dialed her, my pulse thumping. She picked up on the fourth ring, voice all sunshine. Oh, honey, it's for safety. There have been break-ins around here. Safety from what? Mom? Me? I kept it even. You're being paranoid. Stress from work. Maybe. In the background. Chatter and clinking glasses. Her sisters. Aunt Linda and Aunt Grace.
Plus cousin Mia.
No doubt sipping coffee in our living room. She switched to speaker. Tell them how you're accusing your own mother of stealing. The chorus kicked in TSKS. Murmurs of that's awful. Mia chiming, always so suspicious. Classic play. Get the family jury on her side first. In small-town Pacific Northwest families like ours, narrative wins over facts every time. I could have yelled about the proof, but that'd make me look unhinged. Instead, we'll talk facts soon enough. I hung up, the fog wrapping around me like a shroud. Time to build my case quietly. I texted Elena at the bank. Need more footage. Then headed to a nearby cafe. The scent of fresh roasted beans grounding me as I jotted notes. Patterns emerged 6 months back. She'd borrowed my card for gas, only for charges to pop up at a spa. She'd laughed it off. Must be a glitch. Sweetie. I'd let it slide. Not wanting the drama. Fool me once. Right? But now it screamed blueprint. That night. A text from her. Sleep tight. Big changes tomorrow. At the time, I'd hoped it meant reconciliation. Now, it reeked of foreshadowing. Puzzles instead of apologies, that was her style. I dug deeper. Messaging relatives who dropped hints over barbecues. Uncle Mike about unpaid loans. Cousin Jake about locked safes during visits. Seeds planted. In this game, patience was my ace. The next few days blurred into a haze of strategy sessions disguised as coffee runs. I crashed at a friend's place in Olympia, about an hour south, where the Olympic Mountains loomed like silent guardians. No way was I begging back into that house, not yet. Mornings,
Idé pour bankdocs.
cross-referencing with Washington's theft statutes. Over $5,000 meant grand theft. Potential prison time, if intent stuck. But family cases? Judges often pushed mediation first, especially in tight-knit communities like Tacoma's. I needed ironclad proof to skip the sob stories. Elena came through with ATM footage, grainy but clear. Mom at the machine at 2:45 a.m. A shadowy guy beside her. Mid-50s. Slick hair. Glancing around like a fox in a henhouse. Who was he? A quick web search on public records turned up nothing. So I hit up our neighbor, Mr. Harlan, the retired cop who'd lived next door forever. Over fence chat while he pruned his rhododendrons. Saw your mom early that morning. With some fella in a black SUV. Oregon plates. They were laughing, tossing a fat envelope into the glove box. Details like that? Golden quart. Stuck with me, cause of the rain, envelope got spotted. I nodded, filing it away. Small towns talk, but sometimes they whisper truths. My realtor pinged, down payment due in 72 hours. Or we lose the condo. Panic surged. The Seattle market was cutthroat. No extensions for mom drama. This theft wasn't abstract. It was torpedoing my future. I called a lawyer buddy from college, laying it out. File a police report first, he advised. Establishes fraud. Freezes assets. At the Tacoma PD station. The desk sergeant listened, brow furrowed. Family theft's tricky. But with footage? We'll investigate. Report filed. Case number in hand. Back at the cafe, I sketched a timeline. Borrowed card incident. Spa charge excuse. A cryptic text. Theft. Lockout. Not random. Calculated erosion of boundaries. Word spread fast. Aunt Linda called. Voice syrupy. Your mom's heartbroken. Come home. Talk it out. I deflected. Once facts are clear. She hung up huffing. Then Cousin Mia's social media post. Vague book about betrayal by blood. Hashtags like family first ungrateful kids. Subtle smear campaign. In the PNW, where everyone knows everyone's business via Facebook groups. Reputation was currency. I countered privately. Emailing neutral, can the timeline sans drama? Just facts. Seeds sprouting. A breakthrough midweek. Cross-checking the transfer account via bank subpoena. Elena's tip. It linked to a guy named Lucas Grant. Ex-con from Portland with a rap sheet for financial scams, preying on widows. Draining joint accounts. Vanishing. Mom's type. Charming. Always with a business opportunity. Pattern matched Harlan's description. This wasn't impulse, it was a con. And she was in deep. Humane side nagged. Maybe she was duped? But no. Footage showed her smiling. Hurt morphed to resolve. Expose it all, but with a path to redemption if she took it. Family barbecue loomed. Annual thing at Uncle Mike's ranch in the Cascades. Perfect stage. I arrived early. Folder in tow. Greeting hugs masking tension. Mom held court by the grill. Photo album out. Spinning yarns about good old days. Allies nodded. Others shifted uncomfortably. When she hit loans tails, I chimed. Like that $500 I lent you for tires last year? Never saw it back. Room tensed. She waved. Oh, emergencies happen. But Uncle Mike frowned. Wait. You said that was repaid. Cracks forming. I stood. Since we're sharing, $25,000 vanished from my account last week. Proof points to Mom.
Gasps. Videos.
Logs, happy to show. Mom laughed it off. She stressed. Imagining things. But eyes darted. I didn't push. Let doubt simmer. As I left, whispers followed. Victory in leaning them my way. Post-barbecue. Silence blanketed. Phone quiet. Save Celine, Cousin Jake's wife. A paralegal ally, Lucas's priors, fraud in 3 states. Women like your mom. Embarrassed into silence. File thickened. Met my attorney.
Yes. Rivera.
In her downtown office overlooking the Sound. Strong case for civil suit, restitution.
Plus émotionnel distress.
A criminal? DA might charge accessory. Signed on. Feeling the shift from victim to architect. Rumors bubbled. A cousin texted. Heard you're lawyering up. Let it stew, let Mom sweat. An anonymous email arrived. Scans of another victim's file. Same MO. 5 years back. Past catching up. Not just my fight anymore. Peace talk, invite from Uncle Mike, Saturday. His place. Neutral ground. Trap or truce. I prepped. Harmless summary atop the real confession doc. Admitting withdrawal. Forgery.
No consent.
Titled Family Clarification. Witnesses. Aunt Grace. Celine. Arrived early. Coffee steaming. Mom swept in. Composed. Starting with let's heal. I nodded. Agreeing on fluff. Lulling her. Slid the summary. Quick outline. She skimmed. Signed for closure? Pulled the real one. She signed without reading. Arrogance her downfall. This goes to my attorney Monday. Her face strained. What? Witnesses confirmed. Checkmate. Left calm. Paper trail sealed. Court loomed like a storm over the Olympics. Inevitable.
Cleansing.
Monday. I handed MS. Rivera the signed confession. Her eyes lighting. This changes everything. Filed for civil recovery. Full restitution. Loan void. No contact order. DA's office reviewed for criminal. Theft by deception. Possible felony. In Washington, family didn't exempt you. Law was blindish. Mom's response? Radio silence. Then a frantic call. Drop this, or you'll regret it. Threat veiled as concern. I hung up, blocking her. Boundaries. New lock on my life. Moved to a temp Airbnb in Bellingham, near the Canadian border, where the air smelled of salt and pine. Fresh start vibes. Discovery phase. Subpoenas flew. Bank turned over more footage. Mom and Lucas at a casino in Tulip. Blowing cash. Her credit report? Riddled with debts. His name on joint cards. Humane twinge hit. Maybe desperation drove her? Dad's death left her floundering. Bad choices compounding. But theft from kin? Unforgivable without amends. Family fractured. Some sided with her. She's our blood. Others distanced. This is messed up. Celine updated. Lucas skipped town warrant out. Good. Net closing. Pretrial mediation mandated. Neutral office in Seattle. Rain pattering windows. Mom sat across. Eyes red-rimmed. Lawyer fidgeting. Admit fault. Repay in installments. MS. Rivera proposed. Mom's attorney countered. Misunderstanding, loan. Not theft. But confession loomed. Mom broke. I needed it for investments. Lucas said it'd double. Tears flowed.
I'm sorry.
Emily. I was lost. Moment of truth. Anger surged, but empathy flickered, widow conned by a grifter. Why not ask? I said. Pride, she whispered. Mediator push settlement. Repay $10,000 upfront from her savings. Monthly thereafter. Drop criminal push if complied. I agreed. Adding therapy clause for her. And family sessions if wanted. Humane pivot, not destruction. Restoration. Signed. But with clause, breach meant full prosecution. Walked out into drizzle. Lighter. Lesson brewing. Forgiveness doesn't erase boundaries. It reinforces them. Post-settlement. I claimed the condo. Realtor held it. Sensing drama. Moved in. Sleek unit overlooking Lake Union. My key. My rules. Unpacked boxes from storage, including Dad's old fishing gear, reminder of better times. Mom started payments. Spotty at first. Called once. Can we talk? I set terms. Neutral ground.
No excuses.
Met at a Tacoma Pier cafe. Seagulls wheeling. She opened up. Lucas preyed on my loneliness. I justified taking from you. Thought I'd pay back. Tears again. I was wrong. I listened. Shared hurt. Trusts earned back slow.
No hacks.
But a start. Light lesson. Family bonds bend. Don't break if you reinforce with truth. Relatives thawed. Barbecue invites returned. Cautious. I attended one. Sharing laughs. But vigilant. Lucas got nabbed in Idaho, facing charges. Mom testified against him. Closure for victims. Life normalized. Work promotions. New friends. Even dated a bit. Guy from hiking group. No drama. Mom and I built tentative bridges, weekly calls. Her in therapy, me setting pace. One evening, postcard to her. Truth sets us free. Let's keep it that way.
No signature.
Mailed from my new zip. Response? A check. On time. With note. Working on it. Freedom's not locking others out. It's unlocking your own path. With room for redemption. As months passed, the repayments became routine, like clockwork from her part-time job at the local bookstore. She'd found solace in books, she said, escaping the thrill-seeking that led her astray. I encouraged it, small steps. Family therapy session. Awkward at first. Old grudges aired. Uncle Mike admitted enabling her loans. Aunt Linda confessed jealousy over my independence. We laughed. Cried.
Forged pacte, open finance. No secrets.
But the core lesson stuck. Revenge feels good short-term, but humanity heals long-term. I volunteered at a financial literacy nonprofit, helping others spot scams, paying it forward. Mom joined once, sharing her story anonymously. Bond strengthened. By year's end, condo felt like home. Holiday dinner. Her at my table.
No tensión.
Toasts to new beginnings. Shocking theft led to unexpected growth for all. With the settlement inked and the dust settling, I dove headfirst into reclaiming my rhythm. The condo in Seattle became my sanctuary, high ceilings, views of ferries slicing through the sound, and a deadbolt that clicked with finality every night. No more midnight shadows, just the hum of city life below. Work at the firm picked up, landed a big client, the kind that came with bonuses. Used the first repayment check to splurge on a decent coffee maker. Toasting silently to small wins. Mom's therapy notes trickled in via email, part of our agreement. Learning to ask for help, one read. I replied neutrally. Proud of you. Boundaries held. But doors cracked open. Family dynamics shifted too. No more blind alliances. At a cousin's wedding in the Columbia Gorge, whispers were supportive. You handled that like a boss. Even Aunt Grace pulled me aside. Your proof opened my eyes. Sorry I doubted. Light lesson echoed. Truth illuminates. Doesn't incinerate. Lucas's trial made local news. Portland Tribune headline. Con man faces multiple counts. Mom's testimony sealed it. Detailed his sweet talk. Fake investments. She looked composed on the stand.
Per clips primers batxa.
Post-verdict. She called. It's over. Thank you for pushing me to speak up. I softened. We both needed it. Humane ending unfolding, not vengeance, but justice with mercy. Expanded social circle. Joined a book club in Belltown, where discussions veered from thrillers to real-life dramas. Shared my story once. Anonymized, group empathized. Shared similar tales. Realized isolation bred the theft. Community prevents it. One rainy afternoon. Unexpected knock. Mom.
Soaked.
Holding a box. Peace offering? Inside. Dad's old recipes. Her annotations. Thought we'd cook together. Hesitated. Then invited her in. Kitchen filled with laughter over burn edges. First real connection in years. Lesson. Forgiveness is a meal shared, not a score settled. Payments continued. She got a promotion.
I invested mine wisely, stocks. Per Warren Buffett wisdom, ironic.
Given the start. Net worth rebuilt. Plus interest. Family retreat in the San Juans, kayaking, bonfires. Aired lingering hurts. Forged pacts. Mom apologized publicly. I broke trust, working to mend. Tears. Hugs. My response. We move forward. Light. But profound. Actions speak louder than regrets. By summer. Routine solidified. monthly dinners. Her place or mine. Discussed futures, her retirement plans, my career goals. No more secrets. Open books. Reflected on the journey, shocking lockouts sparked unexpected freedom, teaching that humanity trumps revenge. Bonds repair if rooted in truth. As autumn leaves turned the Cascades into a fiery palette, our mended ties felt solid yet flexible, like the evergreens bending in coastal winds. I hosted Thanksgiving, first time in the condo. Mom brought pie. Relatives trickled in wary but warm. No drama, just gratitude toasts. To second chances, I said, clinking glasses. Her eyes misty. To family that fights fair. Work-life balance improved. Weekends hiking Rainier trails. Pondering life's twists. Started journaling. Outlet for emotions. Tool for clarity. Shared excerpts with mom during calls. Helps process. She tried it. Reporting breakthroughs. Lucas sentenced. 5 years. Restitution to victims. Mom's share went to charity. Her idea. Paying forward. I matched it. Feeling closure. Holiday lights twinkled. We volunteered at a Tacoma shelter. Serving meals. Saw echoes of her desperation in others. Empathy deepened. Lesson. Hardship breeds mistakes. Compassion breeds change. New Year. Resolutions exchanged. Hers. Financial independence.
Mine, nurture relationships.
Travel together to Cannon Beach. Oregon waves crashing.
Talk steep.
I almost lost you, she said. But you fought back right. I nodded. We both did. Story's arc. Theft to triumph. Via truth and tenderness. Shocking event birthed unexpected healing. Reminding that in family drama, humanity wins. Epilogue. Years on.
Bond strong.
I married that hiker guy Mom walked me down the aisle. Grandkids now. Her spoiling them wisely. Light lesson indoors. Lock out toxicity. Unlock forgiveness.